Hey there, so today we're talking about pitch accuracy and how to ditch being pitchy. I find it so interesting when a person with a really good ear sings off pitch, and it happens to the best of us. So I was watching The Voice the other day, and there are moments of pitchiness with these really good singers. It's confusing, right? Because these singers, they may play an instrument, they may write their own songs, they may sing in a choir or have sung in a choir, or they may have been a singer for years, and yet sometimes pitchiness happens. Why? If you relate to this frustration, over the next 4 weeks, I'm going to offer 4 ideas to get you thinking and exploring about what may be happening in your own singing and help you to stay more pitch accurate. Know that there's nothing wrong with you or your ear, and this is definitely fixable. So not having quality intonation or not singing on pitch can be related to the following. So the first thing is how you are shaping your words, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The second thing is just using too much muscle tension while singing. The third thing is breath management. How much air are you using and how is it flowing through your instrument? The fourth thing is your confidence in your ear training. Interesting. So we'll go over that over the next 4 weeks. Now today, what we're looking at is the first topic, how you are shaping your words, and more specifically, your vowels. So in the middle range, we usually don't suffer too much with being off pitch. Pitchiness usually finds us in the upper and the lower ranges, which makes sense, right? So this is where the larynx may be shifting a little bit. The vocal folds are adjusting to those higher and lower pitches. How we shape the vowels may feel a little bit different, and how we're sensing the vibrations of the sound and how we're feeling the breath all may feel different as well. Now, because of these shifting elements, right, within our instrument, how you're shaping the vowel in your upper or your lower range may make the note sound a little sharp or a little flat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sing for you an extreme example. It's not going to be pretty. It's an extreme example first, and then I want you to try it so you can get a feel for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing a hey in a bright, twangy way, and then I'm going to sing a huh in a dark, covered way, both on the same pitch. Now, one pitch may sound a little higher, and the other pitch may sound a little lower, and it's all because of how I'm shaping the vowel. So here we go. So, hey, hoo, hey, hoo, hey, hoo. Yeah? Right? So I'm thinking the same pitch, but the acoustics are different, so we get this perceived variation in pitch. Interesting, right? Now, that's an extreme example, but if you want, stop the video now and just explore singing a very bright hey and a very dark huh on the same pitch so you can feel it for yourself, so go for it. So my example is an extreme example of what may be happening when we are singing our songs. So let me try this again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the vowel of that hey closer to that vowel of the huh, right? Not so much twang and not so much cover. And we're going to hear them as the same pitch. Hey, all right, let me get back on the pitch that I was on. Hey, ha, hey, ha, hey, ha. Right? Interesting. So here's a familiar scenario. You're singing a very bright vowel in that upper range. You're just rocking it out. It sounds awesome. And then you descend down a few notes. As you do, the words or the vowel may change. They're not all going to be on the same vowel coming down, right? Those words are going to change. But what happens is the vowel may change so much as you're descending that the audience's ear, or in the recording that you're making, they or you may hear those descending notes as being under pitch or flat, simply because how you've chosen to shape the vowels that you're singing. But now, what if you choose to sing that bright vowel in that high note space and you allow the vowel, even if it's a different vowel on the way down, to stay on the brighter side coming down? it will sound more consistent. So let me give you an example. So if I do me, mama, moo, me, mama, moo. Now, there's two vowels in there that could have a tendency to fall back, to get a little bit too round. Me, mama, moo, right? The ma and the moo may want to go a little bit on the round side, but I'm not going to let them. If I do, it could me, mama, moo. They could sound like they're going a little bit flat as I'm coming down. Instead, I'm going to keep them on that brighter side. Me, mama, moo. Me, mama, moo. Does that make sense? So now what about, let's say, not the bright sound on the top. Instead, you want to just use a beautiful round head voice with the rounder vowel up top. Beautiful. That's another scenario, right? You're in your head voice up top, lots of yummy space, and then you come down, again, in those few notes, you may over brighten or over round those vowels too much. And what you could experience is the tone being a little sharp, right, with those bright vowels, or a little flat with more of those round vowels. So if it's ma, me, ma, moo, goes up a little bit. If I round them too much, ma, me, ma, moo. Extreme, right? But you can hear how that variation in pitch happens. Me, ma, me, ma, moo. Those vowels are now a little bit more closer together, and in how I'm making them, when I say that, they're a little bit closer together, like they're not going too far back or too far forward, right? So instead of going to those two extremes, in that lofty head voice vowel that may be already modified a little bit, ah, I'm going to shift that vowel ever so slightly as I'm coming down. Not too far forward, not too round. And then it's going to even out those acoustics and keep the pitch more accurate, right? Now for both scenarios, head voice or that bright mixy sound, the idea of letting your soft palate be up or lifted as you come down in those notes may help. The soft palate can help shape your vowel, right? It's part of those acoustics. And for some singers, the idea of just gently lifting the soft palate really helps the singer from collapsing the soft palate in a way that could actually change the vowel space so much that the pitch starts to sag a little bit. It gets a little flat, okay, as we come down. So now another example. You are in your middle range and you're going to go for that higher pitch, and you don't modify the vowel enough in that upper pitch. So depending on what notes they are and where that sits in your voice, those high notes may either go sharp or flat, right? So if I'm singing me in my middle range, right? Me, 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 and I have to go up an octave. Me, me. That's not an octave. Me, 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 me. Finding that first. Now, if I don't modify that vowel, me, me, to me it sounds like it's gonna want to go a little sharp, okay? So now if I over modify me, right, it's gonna go a little flat. Again, extreme, not pretty. No one would pay to hear that. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna modify that vowel a little bit as I go up. Me, 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 me. That me vowel feels different up top than it does on the bottom, but it's helping those acoustics so that it's actually gonna stay on the pitch that we need, right? So instead, like I said, I'm gonna modify that vowel. I'm gonna give it a little bit more space to let the pitch blossom to accuracy. Me, me, me. Make sense? So, how I want you to practice this. I've got 3 activities for you to play with. As you practice or listen to a recording of yourself, take note of where the pitchiness is happening. It isn't everywhere, and when you know where it is happening, it really will help you problem solve, right? So is it on the descending pitches as you're coming from a high note into your middle range? Is it on a higher pitch as you approach from the low or middle range? It's good to know. It's not everywhere. So the second thing is play with how you're shaping your vowel. Explore the vowel shape that you're using on the pitch that may be going sharp or flat. Figure that out first. Then explore the vowel shape of the words that are preceding the pitchy note so that you can actually refine and make that transition really smooth into pitch accuracy from the note before it into the vowel space of that new place that's now going to be on pitch, okay? If you're flat, you may need to brighten or close the vowel a little bit. Don't close the throat or the pharynx. Just make the vowel feel a little bit smaller. If you are sharp, you may need to round or open the vowel a bit. You don't need to make a ginormous space, okay? Just let the vowel feel a little bit taller or a little bit rounder. Acoustics really respond in a very subtle way, so gently find what is best for you. The last activity to try is to relax the consonants a bit. Sometimes you and I are just doing too much on our consonants, and the way that we're making the consonants can kind of inadvertently affect the integrity of the vowel we're making. And then it just really causes the pitch to suffer. So easy does it on your p, t, s, k, okay? So that's it. Play with the vowel shape. You may be surprised how a subtle vowel adjustment could really keep you on pitch and keep you accurate. So let me know how this goes, right? Next week, what we're going to do, we're going to look at muscle tension and how that may be causing some pitchiness, okay? Until next time, rejoice in your voice. Bye-bye.